So this is today, Developing Variation. We're going to have excerpts from some of Star Wars, some of Psycho, and a little bit of King Kong. So let's start. First of all, the big picture. This is something I want to just lay out to begin the talks, that why I'm doing these seminars. The reason I'm doing these seminars is because I think it's very important that everybody gets a ability to stand out from the pack. The whole world has the samples now. So how is your music going to stand out that people are going to pick it out and say, I want to hire you? I think the way to do that is by doing something other people aren't doing. And the way that you can do something that other people aren't doing is by studying music and applying principles that you may not know. So a lot of what I'm going to try to do during this talk is point out things that you may not be familiar with. The goal is to give you new ideas and new techniques, so it doesn't sound as cookie cutter as so much of the music that we hear nowadays. The beginning is talking about development. Now, is development important? I think it's very important. How you develop music is really the basis for good compositions. I was told this through my whole life, ever since I started writing music. Teachers would say, you've got good ideas, you have too many ideas. And so they would tell me to develop my material. And I would say, thank you, but I really didn't understand how to do it. And it took me about 40 years to figure out how I can explain it to other people. And that's what this talk is, which is based on my book, which is called Developing Variation. The lack of effective development of material is probably the biggest problem that I and other teachers of film music and orchestration see in composition. It's probably the most prevalent problem. By looking at how the great composers do it and applying their techniques to our writing, we can make our music more polished, more coherent, and ultimately more powerful. This is what we'll be covering today: the motif, the phrase, techniques, development examples, and here's some of the works that we're going to listen to. It's going to be really great. It's going to be a lot of fun. First is the motif. Most music is based on a brief group of notes called the motive. That's the smallest unit of music that you can have. It's our material. Every piece has a motif, and that's what makes it different and establishes it from other pieces of music. Composers write with motifs so they can establish what part of a piece is playing, and we can identify quickly with our ear. The motive must be used repeatedly, and is almost always varied. For instance, in this Beethoven's 17th Piano Sonata, this ba-dee-da-dum, this little 16th note figure, he uses it in 60% of the piece. That's more than half of the whole piece. It's a very long piece, probably about 200 measures. He uses this same rhythm. He varies it, he varies the pitches, but he uses this relentlessly. Beethoven is the master of development.